The Santiago Bernabéu was a coliseum of thunder that night. The floodlights spilled onto the pitch like heaven's spotlight, capturing every blade of grass, every bead of sweat, every heartbeat. The date was April 2, 2025, a Champions League quarter-final night that should have been remembered for footballing greatness. Arsenal's fearless young bloods, led by the unshaken 18-year-old Myles Lewis-Skelly, were up against Europe's giants Real Madrid. The world was watching. And no one expected what was about to unfold. The clock ticked into the 62nd minute. Arsenal was pushing high, full of youth, fire, and rhythm. Lewis-Skelly sprinted down the left flank with purpose. In his path stood Antonio Rüdiger, the man mountain, the German tank, known for his aggression and intimidation. The two locked eyes. One playing for legacy, the other for dreams. Then came the challenge. Lewis-Skelly took the ball past the midfield line. Rüdiger closed in a split second, late, but purposeful. He lunged. The ball was gone. What followed wasn't a tackle, it was an execution. Rüdiger's boot, studs raised, slammed into the young Englishman's ribs. A gasp surged through the stadium. Lewis-Skelly twisted in agony, his scream lost in the roar. But what happened next was even more surreal. Nothing. No whistle. No card. No review. The referee waved play on. The VAR booth stayed silent. On Arsenal's bench, Mikel Arteta leapt up, arms raised in disbelief. "Are you serious? That's a red?" he shouted, his voice cracking into the cool Madrid night. But the match moved on. Rüdiger walked away as if it never happened. And Lewis-Skelly, clutching his side, rose to his feet like a wounded warrior. The incident had passed. Or so it seemed. Within minutes, social media erupted. Thousands had clipped the tackle. Replays rolled in slow motion, again and again, Rüdiger's studs, the follow-through, the intent. The verdict was clear: it was a red. Every pundit, former player, and analyst watching around the world said the same. Gary Neville, speaking on Sky, grimaced. "That's not just reckless. That's dangerous." He knew what he was doing. Ian Wright's voice shook with anger. "That boy's 18. What message are we sending if this goes unpunished?" But more damning than the tackle was the silence of technology. Where was VAR? The game's supposed safety net had looked away. It took less than 12 hours. At 9:03 a.m. the following morning, FIFA released a chilling statement: due to a clear breach in officiating standards and VAR protocol, the VAR officials involved in the Real Madrid vs Arsenal quarter-final have been immediately suspended pending further investigation. Football's governing body had taken notice. The world demanded justice, and for once, the system blinked. The words sent tremors through the officiating world. These weren't just suspensions, they were warnings. No more immunity. No more hiding behind screens. The VAR booth had become the villain. And Rüdiger, he had become the eye of a moral storm. In the training ground the next day, Arteta addressed his team. "We are not victims," he said, looking at Lewis-Skelly. "We are reminders. The world saw what happened. Now we make them remember." Lewis-Skelly, bruised but unbowed, responded the only way he knew how, with fire. "If he tried to break me, he failed." Inside Arsenal's locker room, the mood was electric. The injustice lit a fire under them. They trained harder, spoke louder. And the club's legal team quietly began compiling clips, statements, and history for a potential formal complaint to UEFA. While Arsenal voiced fury, Real Madrid stayed quiet. Rüdiger made no statement. No apology. No acknowledgement. Cameras caught him laughing during training the next day, as if nothing had happened. But behind the scenes, pressure was building. Inside UEFA's corridors, a disciplinary hearing was being whispered into motion. The footage was undeniable. The victim was young. The challenge was clear. And the silence was damning. From London to Lagos, from New York to Nairobi, fans weighed in. Arsenal fans demanded a multi-match ban. Madridistas countered with, "It's football, toughen up." But the neutral world wasn't convinced. The tackle had touched a nerve not just because of the act, but because of what it revealed, that even with technology, power still protected the powerful. That sometimes, even the truth gets overlooked in plain sight. Rüdiger wasn't new to controversy. His career had seen elbows, late challenges, and ruthless fouls that skirted the line. But this felt different. Football historians compared the moment to Roy Keane's infamous Holland tackle, violent, deliberate, and defining. And for Lewis-Skelly it was déjà vu. Only months earlier, he had been sent off for a soft challenge in a Premier League match, later overturned on appeal. The irony: now a brutal stamp against him goes unchecked. Two standards. One game. FIFA knew it couldn't bury this. The investigation expanded. Referee audio was pulled. Video timelines were analyzed. And most importantly, new VAR policies were proposed, mandatory on-field review for all potential red card offenses. Live VAR audio to be made public post-match. Independent VAR supervisors in UEFA knockout rounds. Football wasn't just reacting, it was evolving. The young man who took it all. Myles Lewis-Skelly never cried. He never complained. In fact, just days after the incident, he posted a photo of him in training grinning. The caption still standing. Still smiling. Bigger battles to win. That moment, more than any card or ban, turned him into a hero. Not just for Arsenal, but for a generation of young players who saw that grit wasn't just in tackles, it was in rising when you had every reason to stay down. What will be remembered? The match ended. The moment passed. But the story didn't fade. FIFA's ban of the VAR officials was historic. Rüdiger's reputation took a hit. VAR entered a new age of transparency. And Lewis-Skelly, he walked out of that fire forged into something greater, not just a player, but a symbol of resilience. They called it the stamp heard around the world. But in truth it was more than a stamp. It was a mirror.